Hey folks, how's it going? Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to have a look at some tools you can use to help you create a palette for your Power BI reports. Now I've been planning to make this video for a while, but the thing that's finally spurred me into action is some of the great content that Chris Wagner from KratosBI has been putting out recently. If you don't already subscribe to Chris's channel, you absolutely should do. So there's a couple of his recent videos that I've really liked. He did one in the character of Les Grossman from Tropic Thunder, which is all about how to make personalised themes in Power BI reports. And he's also started to do a series about how you can create a palette using images from photographs on the internet. Now the tools and tips that I'm going to show you today are going to dovetail really well with those two videos, so you should definitely go check those out. So the first tool I want to talk about is PowerToys. Now, despite the name, it's actually nothing to do with Power BI or anything to do with the wider Power Platform either. It's a Windows utility. It's available for free. You can download it from the Windows App Store. And the app itself contains a load of really useful productivity tools, like an image resizer, there's a bulk renamer. But the one that I really want to bring your attention to is this, the colour picker. Now this is a universal colour picker. You can use it to identify the colours in photos, in documents, on websites. Basically anything you can display on your screen, you can find out what colour is being used for it. And I've been using this tool a lot recently. Let me set the scene for you. I've been working with a client who's been migrating from an old BI system onto Power BI. Now they want to have a bit of continuity for their end users, so what they've asked us to do is make sure that the new reports in Power BI still have a similar look and feel to what their users are already used to. But they didn't have a formal style guide, so they didn't have any kind of definition in terms of the colours that are actually being used. So, using this colour picker, we were able to look through the existing reports, pick out the colours we needed, and make sure we apply those to a Power BI theme. So let's see that in action. Now I've got here a pretty plain, bog standard Power BI report. This is using the default out-of-the-box Power BI palette. And I want to sexy this up a bit. I want to make it pop. I want to maybe give it a bit more of a corporate identity. So I'm going to turn this into a KratosBI themed report. I've already mentioned him once, so let's check out the KratosBI website. And what I'd like to do is pick out some bold colours from the website, and I'm going to use those for the theme of my report. Now to launch the colour picker, there's a Windows shortcut. So if I press Shift, the Windows key and C, you'll see that my mouse now turns into the colour picker. So that's now hovering over this white space here. You can see the hex code for white, which is all the S. I like the look of this nice blue. It's featured in a few different places throughout. I'm going to go for this version up here. Now what I can do, if I click on that, it's going to give me the definition in this box here. Again, I can copy that hex code. I'm going to nip back to my Power BI report. And I can close that now. I'm going to come up here, customize my current theme. Colour number 1, and I'm going to copy that hex code in here. Back to the KratosBI website. I really like this kind of bright orangey yellow up here as well. So again, colour picker shortcut, click on it, gives me the definition, copy that. Back to Power BI. Close this. Colour 2, copy the hex code in, and I've got the first two colours on my palette there. The thing is, two colours do not really a palette make. Chris's website, KratosBI, is beautiful, nice and clean and fresh looking. There's not that many standout colours being used on the website, so I've picked the two biggest, brightest colours that I think I could see on there. But really, I need more colours in my palette. So what can I do? Well, I'd like to introduce you to this second tool, or more a website, let's say. So this is Coolors.co. Now there is a paid tier to this website with more features, but there's also a free version as well. If I go up to the top right hand corner up here, we can see we've got a palette generator, which will take me through to this page here. And that can generate a potential palette for your reports. And every time I hit the spacebar on the page, it'll generate me a new palette. Now the thing that I can do is I can actually specify some of the colours. So if I come across here to this hex code down here, I can paste in my Kratos blue and hit the padlock here, so that locks that colour in. Same here, I'm going to paste in the Kratos orange, lock that too. And now when I hit spacebar to generate my palette, it'll keep those first two colours that I've locked, and then it's going to generate some palette that it thinks will go with it well. So here we go. So that's quite a good start. Let's hit space again and see what else we come up with. Not really keen on that dirty brown. Not a big fan of all the pinks. That green's maybe a bit dark. Okay, I think I can work with this. This looks like sort of a nice level of contrast. That pink colour certainly sticks out. I'm going to lock that one in. And this pewter blue I think is a good contrast too. Not so keen on that last blue colour because it looks a little bit too close to the one next to it. So let's see if I can get some. There we go. So that's got a nice contrast going on there. So what I can do now is I can make a note of these hex colours and add those to my palette. Once I've made those changes, let's hit apply. And voila, our very own KratosBI branded report, which personally I think looks pretty damn nice. The thing is, I've kind of created that theme in a fairly slapdash manner. I've jumped on the KratosBI website, picked a couple of colours that I like the look of, plugged those into Coolors.co, and then I've basically randomly generated some colours to go with it until I like the look of it. I've just done it by eye based on what I think looks good. If you're creating a palette in Power BI, there are definitely some other things that you should consider. Do the colours actually offer the right amount of contrast? Are they going to be friendly for people that might have things like colour blindness, for example? Now, when it comes to these kind of questions, my go-to for resources on this is Megan Longoria. She's a Microsoft MVP for data platform. She does loads of really, really great content around report accessibility. Now, if we head over to her website, which is datasavvy.me, she has actually got a accessibility report checklist. Again, if we have a look at some of the information on here, you've got things like ensuring colour contrast, those kind of things, various things that you can check to make sure that the palette makes sense effectively. And if we scroll right down to the bottom of this page as well, it's actually provided a few links to some tools you can help use as well to do things like checking your colour contrast and things like that. So I definitely recommend checking out Megan's blog and taking into account some of the tips and tricks that she offers to make sure that those contrast in your colour palette is good. As always, I'll make sure that I provide links to everything I've used today in the description, so I'll stick a link in there for Coolors.co and also for Megan's website as well. And maybe if there's other tools that you're aware of that would be useful for this kind of thing as well, let me know. I hope that's been useful. As always, if you've got any feedback or questions, please use that comment section below. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to follow along for more Power BI content from me, please do subscribe to the channel. Thanks once again for watching, and I'll see you next time.